Greetings, hello, and welcome back to the Long War of the Chosen Mod Jam Plus Highlander campaign.
Hey, that was my part actually.
Whoa.
Welcome there.
Oh, hello.
So,
Welcome.
for those wondering what's happening, I didn't record the voiceover audio for this episode, so I had to do post commentary, and I thought that's always boring doing that alone. So I asked the wonderful buddy of mine, Illogical here, to help me out. Oh, well, did I ask you? You offered more to. Hey, that would be fun if we did that.
People may not know this, but we hang out outside of your stream, and when you told me this, I was like, this would be fun. This could be something cool to talk about the mission, talk about Mod Jam, and just give maybe some different insight on like what I think of what's going on in your current campaign, which is struggling maybe a little bit on your Geoscape.
But, yes, it's like July, and I still haven't liberated a region, and the first two regions are kind of toxic now and can't run missions there. But, you know, it's a smash and grab. We've got 6 people infiltrated. There's an officer made with trial by fire and trying to get a free promotions out of this one.
I did see you brought the spark as well. Is that just the normal spark, or is this a special?
This is a... No, this is a mech protector.
Oh, one of my favorite actually. The mech protector. I have seen absolutely take a beating on the old custodians, and after that, I was kind of a fan. Like, they may not do the most damage, but boy, can they take a hit and keep other people alive if things go south.
Well, since we just unlocked advanced mech weapons, so he has basically the first Helix rail cannon I produced, so he's probably the highest damage potential in the squad. But yeah, still, of course, it's a squaddy, like a freshly promoted soldier, so no special abilities or anything yet. So before the mission starts to get hot, there might be some people not 100% familiar with you and your relation to Mod Jam. Do you want to kind of, I don't know, introduce yourself or say how you got involved with the whole Mod Jam thing?
Certainly. So I am Illogical. About a year and a half ago, was a year and a half? It might have been longer. I used to stream a lot of Long War of the Chosen, and this person came into my chat named Karuka, and mentioned that they had made a bunch of mods to work with Long War of the Chosen, and asked if I would stream it for a week or two and give some feedback to help balance it out a bit more and make it more cohesive. As initially it was just a bunch of mods that worked. There was no attempt at making it flow, at balancing. I don't want to say it was a mess, but it was kind of a mess, as you would run into things that you had no actual way to kill too early because of how force level adjustments worked and things like that. So after about 2 weeks, I kept playing Mod Jam for another year or so, putting together the Mod Jam Plus collection, working with Karuka on everything from stat adjustments, force level adjustments, tech unlock, research changes. I have created missions, mostly for playable aliens, to make those flow and function as mostly out of pure frustration that they weren't respecting force level adjustments. I have developed a research and development in hopes to offer new and interesting decisions for the players without just giving them power. And I'm kind of in charge of taking the fun out of the game. And not really, more having it work together nice and cohesive while still keeping the challenge that Long War provides and changing some of the difficulty curve.
You're taking the fun out of the game. You're balancing the fun away. That's worked, yeah.
That might have been a little long-winded, but I think that does a decent job of my involvement. Even though I don't stream or play very often anymore, I'm still talking with Karuka constantly, looking at what we're doing next, and working on a few hopefully fun things for the player in the future.
Gotcha. Moving.
So yeah, it should be noted that so in this campaign I'm using not just the official Mod Jam Plus package, but I also have the classes from Captain Bedrock and the proficiency classes. So not everything of that is officially part of Mod Jam and under your strict balance overview. So there's still some fun remaining here.
Certainly. I think it's very healthy that people are adding more and wanting to add more to mod jam. My only complaint with that is when people are like, this is OP. It's like, okay, talk to the developer or like make adjustments, you know?
Or just don't use the OP abilities, right?
Yeah. I certainly don't mind if people are interested, like adding more stuff, wanting some feedback. I've put about 1,500 hours of just playing Mod Jam, and probably another 600 to 700 hours of developmental side of just everything else that goes on with it into it. So I'm very familiar with it. There's certainly some design philosophies Karuka and I both agree upon, and there's also things we disagree upon. I think that doesn't get seen very often. On certain things that are in the mod jam that officially that I'm not a huge fan of, but they're either pet projects of Karuka or she likes it, and so it stays, and we make it work and figure out how to get it to work in a way we both like.
Yeah. And coming to the mission here right now, so Smash and Grab, typical, trying to get the 12 crates. It's 10 to 12 enemies, I think. And again, I'm trying to do a trial by fire run with 3 people getting promotions, but that also means 3 people who are not maybe contributing as much. So I was kind of hoping that would be a 7 to 9, but you know, sometimes it doesn't quite work out. So basically, I'm trying to have my high-level soldiers are my sharpshooter, my titan, yeah, and the officer. So the sharpshooter and the titan kind of have to carry here a little bit.
I notice you have a recon here, and I think you've been pretty partial to using recons in your stream campaign. Is it just that they're a better scout shinobi, or is there like additional value as they level up as well that you've really liked?
So I really like the shooty spec of the recon, which I always had a bit of a soft spot for the shooty shinobi, but it's really hard to get them to work, and I think the recon basically brings a better toolkit to make them work as a shooty. So they can do scouting, but when things go wild, they can dish out a fairly good amount of damage. That being said, the newbie recon here is a little bit far away from that. And other than that, yeah,
fun pod you got there.
Yeah,
a commando group, only 2, but still 2 of I think those are 2 of my favorite enemies. Even now, I don't think they used to be. I think this is fun to talk about. So the Wraith, not the commando, the destroyer, used to have an ability that would destroy your cover, knock you out of cover, and daze you with like no mischance, if I recall, right? And that might have been one of the most frustrating things to play against.
Oh, he still has like a side pull, I think, where it's like similar to Skirmisher's what is it, Justice, that pulls the other one over to you, except it usually misses, destroys your cover, and then doesn't pull you. But you're standing then there in the open and like, thanks, I was using that cover.
We separated the abilities in a way where it now has hit, and it's one or the other. It's not all of them. Yeah, those commandos, I think they're still dangerous enough. Those one of those things that when I joined the project and we're playing against it, it's like there's no counter. There's no actual like play for the player to feel like they can do something.
Yeah, and then the ref commando, this early unit that has Bladestorm is just super kind of annoying. But I think I've set up, I'm setting up to engage here with the plan to just lead the target on the group of 3 regular advent and breaking line of sight with the 2 commandos and hope that they don't join the party. And, you know, isolate the small pod, take them out, and then deal with the others later.
On my way.
I can't wait to see how this plays out. I know you have spoilers in your own head. But
yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing this, especially with that turret back there. 3 armor is kind of no joke. You're not going to have your shutter rounds really online at this point, if you even have them.
No, I have actually 1 person here with AP rounds, which is the sharpshooter. The Titan didn't have AP, which I consider actually a mistake on my part. Should have brought a little bit more.
See how this goes.
And Yeah, lead the target. Actually going
doing lead the target things and giving you a little scare.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's not coming off. Damn. But went off. Hit the right target. Wonderful
you're
shot.
Yeah, you're at tier 2 units with the Guardian there.
Target's still up.
Alright, it's not the Sentry anymore, it's the Guardian.
Yeah. And they're actually running away a little bit.
On yellow alert running away. Good roll of job. That could have easily been a grass, which would have then been no alert shots. So
But I do have the Mag Protector. Like he even was on Overwatch. His Overwatch didn't trigger there, so kind of no showcase of the good weapon. And apparently I can sneak in there, not trigger the commando pod, but yeah, trigger some Celetids.
Celetids. I still don't know how I feel about them. I know they're a remnant from XCOM EU brought over. I think as the enemy goes, their high dodge definitely makes them an interesting challenge that prior to Mod Jam, you never really paid attention. My turn. Because if we think back to like regular Long War, it's Vipers really. They're the only things that really had innate dodge, and it wasn't very much. It wasn't really a mechanic you cared about. Yeah. Dodge in your own guys as well as also like potentially reduces a hit to a praise when the whole play is don't get hit. So it's not very effective or efficient.
There you go.
Good kill on that turret though.
Definitely. Yeah, and in retrospect, I think I should have also taken a shot with my officer there, because that was not a guaranteed kill with the sniper, and if I wouldn't have gotten the kill, I didn't get the whole death from above steady chain. So, but got lucky sometimes. Okay. Sometimes you have to take the luck.
Definitely the highest priority target though in that situation. Yeah. Those turrets can get nasty.
So I'm trying to dodge the line of sight of the commandos and getting something in against the Celetids.
Yeah, I was afraid right there. If you put them behind this pillar, even though Nex and Sparks don't peek on Advent's turn, they can peer around. Like the objects and see them. We saw this a lot of times when testing Bulwark, right? Just in Long War. Causing all sorts of like additional vision issues where you couldn't see the target but they could see you.
Yeah. Some combat drugs dense smoke here for the targeting and also to protect me from their poison acid spits. But other than that, no luck on that shot. A grace, as you said. High dodge enemy. They like to.
So what is this class Neil Price is? I'm not familiar with him.
That's a Buccaneer.
Okay, so that's Kruka's new class.
Yeah, exactly. So he's not really, since he's a close range class, and I want to avoid activating those guys in the back. It's of course not ideal. Now this Seletid comes in for the poisons. Usually they always go for the acid with their first attack, but he immediately comes in with the poison cloud, which of course reveals my recon. And thankfully misses.
So these are some claws enemies, and their animations are so clean. They're so good.
I'm taking fire.
Which also, by the way, surprised me there. The Destroyer Commando, I think, usually stands still and does his shields on everybody. So that he ran into cover also kind of disappointed me. I was hoping I could just snipe him out in the open.
Firebrand is en route to make the pickup.
But yeah, so now we have 2 Celetids and 2 of those guys in position. One of the biggest drawbacks here, I think, of the Commando class is that he's throwing grenades. So he doesn't have a grenade launcher, which means he has the grenade throw cooldown. So I threw a grenade last turn, I can't throw another smoke grenade right now. So I was planning to smoke up my sniper to get 100% shots.
locator
not
is
happening.
down and our transponder is active.
Are you
Smart.
doing the double move and then getting the free throws still because of rapid deployment? What you're looking to do with that character?
I was considering it. Like, of course, I want to play greedy, right? I'm here for the crates. I want to get 12 crates. I have very few missions going at the moment, so a person or two getting injured is not the end of the world. But of course, having people not get injured might be nice. So the biggest threat is, of course, the RAF commando. Like, I think they have...
Yeah, he's gonna come blade or melee someone, get in a position that might be hard to deal with. Have blade stone your melee units.
So a little shredder gun here deals with the armor on the other guy, and it sets me up potentially for a sniper shot.
Do we give Commandos Shadow Step? I feel like we did.
Yes. Ref Commando has starts like that's kind of, you know, is a starting unit. Tier 1, he comes with Bladestorm and Shadow Step. That's it's kind of a rough one.
So some of that philosophy comes to wanting the player not to just bring the AP grenades and frag grenades, but to have a flash, to like consider their options. I was thinking about this and talking about this to Kruka some time ago. At some point, we did start removing items such as the frost weapons and things of that nature, because while it's fun to have large kits and lots of ways to deal with things, that ended up coming down to like a lowest common denominator. What do you need at minimum to find success against every enemy type, right?
Yeah.
And I still think with the commando that was a good decision with that, keeping that, because one, flashbang disables the blade storm, right, and encourages the player to have flashbangs, not just for this enemy, but for a variety of enemy types that can get annoying, but also be somewhat shut down if you brought one just for this moment like this, right?
Yeah. So you see my Buccaneer, I did a bit of a risky move there. He's standing out in the open, but just that was as close as he could get to the Celatid, and he got the kill on that. So now I need to make sure he doesn't get shot while standing out in the open.
Yeah, you know the Pupa's going to do the Poison Cloud, since he spit last turn.
Yeah. Do they actually have a cooldown on the spit, or is that just their kind of behavior pattern?
Their behavior is every other turn of both abilities. I would have to go look. The guy doing the poison as his first action, I'm sure there's like a reason why he decided on that. I don't think it's programmed to be random. I think they're supposed to spit first, but he may not have had vision, like within range to shoot it, and realize he could go in melee range and do his poison cloud. So it didn't even consider like a 2-action economy thing there.
So at this point here, I realize I still have rapid deployment up. So I'll, might as well throw a flashbang on that thing. And then we're doing something risky. Teamwork in the Titan.
You gotta risk it for the biscuit, right? 12 crates are...
Yeah, 12 crates or bust. So, of course, I can't go next to the commando because Bladestorm.
And you have a cannon, so you're going to have the aim penalty being too close.
Here I go.
But Titan is a cannon and sort of shotgun guy. So far in this campaign, I basically only use the cannon, even though I'm going for the sort of shotgun build. But hey, first time for everything.
That worked out.
But for some reason, so I also have brutality, and it looked like it didn't trigger. So like there was, when I killed in the previous turn, what was it? Commando, Guardian Sentinel, whatever it was, there was a brutality pop-up that didn't show up here, which kind of, I don't know, confused me there a little bit. I was hoping to get a panic on the destroyer. But, yeah.
Oh, we get a little bit of that early death animation that happens so frequently.
Yeah, that for those guys, also for all the commandos, I think it happens often. that they kind of disappear. It feels like a bit they're fleeing before you can kill them. Which
They're like, no, not today.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
you still get
and-
the kill experience, and so not that big of a deal. Now, is this a 7 to 9 or a 10 to 12?
10 to 12.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's just the disoriented sedated there who actually can't reach anyone for the poison cloud because of the reduced movement, so
Firebrand
he's
is
just
on
standing
deck
there.
for recovery. Keep marking those crates, Menace 1-5.
So I'm kind of feeling pretty confident. You know, the turret is gone, 7 enemies, well, 6 enemies dealt with. I lost my concealment, but I haven't taken.
Is it a strength 4 region?
Not strength 3. So I actually, if I remember correctly, I boosted this mission because there's a supply rate coming in. So I did a boost because I'm good on intel, so it doesn't get harder. I think that's Dutch. I will have to actually look back at the escape if I'm not confusing things here now.
Okay. I'm just curious. So it's relatively safe to assume there's one more pot of 3 on this map. No drone. Shockingly. Yeah. Maybe there is one later.
Good holo targeting, and the Helix Rail Cannon is not doing its job.
A low roll.
Moving.
Okay.
But on the other hand, I get the kill XP on the people that need it, and not those that get the free promotion anyway, so that's fine.
Copy that.
And your crate management looks really solid here. We've meme about this mission type so much. Fun thing. Do you guys well, your audience may not know, some of them may. This mission didn't used to have a minimum requirement of crates. You only needed 1 crate to get full mission experience. Do you recall the strat of bringing a bunch of low-level people with trial by fire and just running up a shinobi, grabbing a crate, running back and evacing?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever done this anywhere, but I've heard a lot of people doing that, basically just getting the free XP. But then again, yeah, like you could even infiltrate with 8 people and just kind of launch right away almost. But yeah.
Yeah, I think the change to requiring 4 was very necessary. I'm glad Peter did that.
Yeah, I think 4 is a good balance here. So yeah, game screwed me a little bit over with the. Did you see that crate on the right there?
Oh, very far great. No one
Yeah.
within mobility. Oof.
Well, technically,
Okay, so you're at 10 with 1 turret, right? I mean, I could see there still being a pot of 2, but realistically, I would have thought there would be a drone on this map with a pot of 3. Are we gonna find out if there is something else over there? Do we take the risk and go get that crate?
would you? I mean, that's the question.
I would
huh?
not. I would not. I don't think I don't think 1 crate's worth it. I think at this point you've done it so cleanly. Making sure you don't take damage is the most important thing here. All right. Now, the Grenadier is not really that big of a threat. I think that assault can be quite difficult for them if they can get up close.
Well, Grenadier is the upgraded engineer, right? So he has fire grenades, which always scares me a little bit. And that's my sniper missing that vital shot on him. So now I'm like, okay, you know what? It's a mech protector. He can take a little bit of heat. 5 plate, 3 armor. So he takes the flank on the Grenadier and gets the kill.
Running dry.
By the way, I really hope we're in sync here. I'm not like.
I think so. I'm
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about how I would approach this, because again, that assault's scary. Has a decent amount of mobility. I think I would have moved the mech protector up more to take the hit from the assault.
So
To force the targeting there.
so here's now my next thought. You know, greedy eyes are still looking at the crate. So I'm gonna move my recon up a little bit to maybe get some information with tracking about any enemies in the building or behind the building.
Tracking is such a strong ability.
Tracking is really good. So, didn't spot anything. I don't want to get too close to be a target for the recon. I'm not too scared of the trooper, though. Of the assault, I mean. The assault, I don't want to get... So,
from this distance, yeah, I wouldn't be too scared.
My Titan here is very close, actually, to the assault. The assault is behind the tree there. We don't see him right now.
Yeah, that's why, I feel like you'd either have to move that character back, or I would have moved the mech protector up to be a juicier target.
So, going for it. My recon didn't find anything. So, just going for it, tabbing to the next soldier. Okay, nothing activated. So yeah, Titan needs to fall back. Get full cover.
Get ready.
Oh, you threw evac a turn late?
Yeah, kind of. So we actually, but it's still like the reinforcement timer just goes into, hey, reinforcements incoming, so I won't actually see anybody.
Yep. And there's that shot on the protector. I'd like to see that.
No, the trooper actually getting a grace in there, not the end of the world.
So when you're initially recording this, are you still expecting another pod on the map?
Well, after the move of the recon, not revealing anything, and also not so neither activating anything, but also not showing anything with tracking. At that point, I was kind of confident that it was a 10 player and not a 10 enemy, not 12 enemy mission.
I could do this with my eyes closed.
Because there was also very much a bias with all enemies more being on the left side of the map, also all crates more on the left. I feel like this map, there's always a bias on the crates being either more on the left or more on the right, and the enemies similarly distributed.
Yeah, enemies just can wander, which is why it can definitely get tricky at times. You'll know immediately after this turn, though, if there's more, simply because of rotation timers.
Yeah, so I'm kind of semi careful here still. You know,
so
moving the recon up. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, so I still love when this map generates on the flip side and you spawn on the far side of the building down the cliff.
That's super rare for me, right?
It doesn't happen often. And I don't know if they ever figured out why it's actually doing that. Because I don't think it's supposed to. It creates such a different flow, though, because all the enemies are pretty much back by that main building, right? Except for the group that's further out. But then crates can spawn on top of the cliff behind you, so you don't even have to address. Yeah. So, no more enemies on the map. Instant rotation.
And all crates within reach.
I'm on it, Commander.
Someone's been watching someone's tutorials. Though they might be outdated now.
Aye, aye, Commander.
So what else with this campaign's going on that you're having fun with or enjoying?
So I've now played 2 streamed campaigns with this kind of restriction of 1 soldier per class, and now this YouTube campaign, and I think it's a really fun approach. Although I still feel like there's a bunch of classes that I really haven't been able to fully explore yet, just because I'm restricted to only having 1 of them in the roster. But it kind of forces you also to some interesting squad layouts. Like, you don't always have your gunner for shredding in the squad. You need to find somebody else. I'm definitely building more shredder ammo in those campaigns, because you're kind of limited definitely on shredding, on hacking people, and on concealment. Phantom.
Have I spotted you with enough of a lead?
Yeah. I think myself the one type of soldier per campaign is really probably the best way to experience Long War Modlist, right? And like you said, you get to try different things, but you may not see everything. Gives more replayability value. Have to make the decisions on what you can bring or what you can't bring, and how you have to approach it.
Roger, Holden.
The reduced, well, I don't want to say reduced amount of hacking classes. The ratio is still about similar to what you have with Log War. It's just a matter of actually getting all those classes and using them in a timely manner, right? They definitely have more value now with so much filler. That's the right way to put it.
Yeah, certainly. And I think like maybe it's also a little bit biased my thoughts on this. From in one campaign I lost a technician fairly early, so one of the gremlin classes. So obviously that then means I'm even more with the rule in place. I can't, one soldier per class and no replacements when somebody dies means you're never getting that soldier back. You're never getting another gremlin class on that stat. So I've been actually doing lots of hacking with the mechs that can equip a bit or gremlin, and my Spark has been hacking a lot. But yeah,
flawless, well done.
Wonderful camera picture here, like the tool doing its work.
How does that combined kill counter work for this? Is it just like it's all the people on the mission and they're finishing blows, really?
Think so, yeah. Like it's not for this specific mission, but everything they've done so far. And of course, my sharpshooter has been a busy boy, right? He's kind of carrying, which is also, coming back to the campaign rules of one soldier per class. So in the stream campaign, I'm running a holo targeting sharpshooter officer who's giving everybody like 20-30 aim, just from lead by example and holo targeting, which is fantastic, but also having a death from above sharpshooter is just a reliable killing machine, yeah. So yeah,
good amount of promotions.
That's Trial by Fire doing its work.
Yep.
So there's a Buccaneer. I think I forgot to respec him. You see the on the Corporal and the Gunnery Sergeant rank, the XCOM row perks the same, but Kruger already fixed that, so I need to respec him. So far, I haven't played much of the class, but it's definitely like an interesting choice here on Corporal between double or nothing to really lean into the sort of shotgun. Then you have Focus to make the shots from that first perk or the slices from the first perk actually hit, and Burrow Blade to actually give you a movement and attack opportunity, because he doesn't have flash, right?
Yeah. I really like what Kruka's been doing where, excuse me. Sorry. I had to clear my throat there. I like what she's been doing with combining abilities to create new abilities for her classes, like specifically this with the double or nothing combining two perks. I think that type of, I don't think it works with everything, but I think it works to allow some uniqueness, like what she's doing here with the Buccaneer. Yeah. I haven't played with the Buccaneer myself, but when she messaged me about it to take a look, I was like, yeah, I trust you. Like, I appreciate you asking me, but I'm not big on the class balancing anymore or doing too much of that,
No. And that's the recon. We talked a little bit about this, but this is such, like with Hunter's Instinct and the XCOM row, this is such a nice build for shooty recon.
24 dodge already. Not taking evasive for covert. Definitely approve.
Yeah.
Get him some trooper armor, increase that reduction.
Yeah, and with covert they can even run a rifle instead of an SMG and still be a really good scout. Can they run a rifle? I'm not even sure anymore. But it's what I'm doing on a shooty shinobi, right? I think recon cannot get a rifle now that I think about it. There's so many classes I can't remember everything. And then me, if you look my mouse movement, looking at the talents there, I'm just checking the top 3 because I'm still thinking bottom row is XCOM row, but no, it's I'm getting a little bit confused there. It's like, no, it's a mech. They have 4 rows. They don't have an XCOM row.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of back and forth if that was a good decision or a proper decision. I stand by it, mostly due to the AP bugs and then just the kind of insane power they were getting from a full tree, plus their AP bringing it over, plus some of the stuff we had in the AP rows, a lot of the mechs. I think this way, like, you're still gaining enough advantage with mechanizing that instant heal if soldiers are wounded, the additional ablative, mech weapons, which early game are just above anything else you really can use.
Yeah, and I think, so for those not familiar, there was the bug with when it comes to AP, what you just talked about, where your soldier would gain his normal AP, the soldier AP per level, and if you then turned him into a mech trooper, he would once again rank up those levels and earn the same amount of AP again. So you kind of double dipping on your soldier AP, and that was not an easy fix, so removing those abilities from the mechs was kind of one solution to it.
Yeah, there was other reasons as well going the way we did, which I like. I think it works well.
So yeah, and then we have by the way, the research development building. I'm still, I like the early science it gives. Like 7 scientists plus 2 basically from the lab here in June. Illyrium about to be, no, I think it's already done with the research. I'm a really good tech level, a decent amount of supplies. I just don't have a liberated region.
Yeah, when looking at the R&D and adjusting it and seeing how, because I'm taking the project that Rusty Dios made and then just expanding on it for Mod Jam. It couldn't have too much value, but it still needed to be something that a player could consider using. It definitely has more value if you get early supply raids, as you can start unlocking more items and side grades to play around with, which I think it's done well. I think I've done a decent job with this. I do have one reservation about it, and that may need a bit of an update. Nothing changing on its functionality. The cost of some items may be too low and some too high, and so I think I need to evaluate and go through that again.
I'm probably complaining at that point about the cost of the ultralight vest. 5 hours, 40 supplies, 1 core for an item that I'm never going to use.
This is one of those, especially because it then unlocks other stuff, right?
Yeah.
That item is one of those that the cost needs to come down. You're still using the corpse, which I think is important, because I don't think it should just be getting things for free. But you no longer need to have 2 or 3 of the corpse to get the ultralight vest or the other. Right?
Well, I wish you could choose, right? If I want to do a project for the vest or for the armor, unlock both, but the item I get for the project is the more useful one. But
so I considered that when setting it up, right? Of having 2 separate projects. Like if you want the Pathfinder armor, you just do that. But if you want the light vest, you just do that, right?
Yeah.
I decided to go the way I did, as I felt it. One gives you an item still for the player, and then unlocks the superpower.
We're also coming to the end of the episode here.
Oh my goodness, that's been fast.
All right, thanks for joining me for this post commentary.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time.